Well, hi everyone, Andrea Mills here. This is my third and final video on a series on transitioning from a laid-back homeschool style to a more structured style like our family uses with ACE curriculum. So we have already talked about getting ready for the first day. We've talked about getting through the first day. Now we're going to talk about as you go on through those first weeks and months of homeschooling with ACE or any other sort of a structured curriculum. Number one, I would say, is always be watching for ways you can streamline what you're doing. So just every day or however often, just write down on a notebook paper or something things that you think of or notice that you think might make things go more smoothly, so you can incorporate those things into your routine as possible. You don't want to try to change everything all at once, but just slow and sure. You're going to make adjustments, just like driving a car. So just try to keep things simple and consistent. We're not going to fix all the problems in one day, but a little bit every day, and you will be surprised how far you can get. And remember that while you want to challenge your kids to get into this structure and to get work done and all that, you also don't want to overburden them. And I think one of the big temptations is when you start seeing success and you start seeing them getting independent and getting work done faster, that you might want to add more on, and resist the temptation to do that. If they get done early, let them have the rest of the day. That's their natural reward, is that for all of us, if we get our work done quickly, then we get the rest of the time to do what we want. So don't pile more on as you go. Let them have their natural reward, and if they don't finish, then try not to make too big of a deal out of it, but kind of watch and see what the problem is, and as I said, make adjustments as you see them become necessary. The first thing I would try to work on gaining independence with is on them reading directions and following the directions. In the PACES, the directions are always written in blue, and then there's examples in purple, and resist the temptation to read to them all the time if they're able to read on their own, reading the directions to them, but really encourage them to read them themselves. And if they say, I don't understand, then you're going to go over and say, read the directions out loud to me, but really try to encourage them to think it through and try to understand on their own, because that will save you tons of time later. Once you feel confident that they are doing a pretty good job with reading the directions and following the directions, getting their initials when they're supposed to, following all those procedures, then you can work on having them start scoring their own schoolwork. I don't usually have my kids under third grade do that at all, but third grade and beyond, I feel like they're perfectly capable of doing a good job scoring. So you would start then training them in that. And there's no set time frame on how long any of these should take, but you want to be making steady progress in doing these things. And then the last area would be on setting their own goals, and that's like assigning, doing their own page assignments for the day, and then their own time management. You want them to learn how to have self-control, how to take care of themselves, how to get things done on their own. And it does take time, but you can get there. And my oldest son pretty much works completely independently. He's in 8th grade. Same with my 6th grader. I hardly have to do anything other than doing like supervisor scoring and those kinds of things, but they just get up, they get their work done, and I don't have to really prod them or do anything with them. They just do it. My 5th grader is pretty much there. My 3rd grader, he's a little iffy because he likes to play a lot. And of course I have a 1st grader who she pretty well does work on her own too, but just putting these things into practice over time, you will have independent workers. My last thing is dealing with your own issues, because there's probably a reason that you were attracted initially to a more laid-back style than a more structured style. And whatever those reasons are, that's part of your personality, and that's going to creep up eventually, and it may start interfering with how well things are getting done. So I feel like for my own self, I have to acknowledge to myself that there's going to be things I like and things I don't like, but I'll get used to it. Whatever those reasons are that makes me want to not have structure in my day, sometimes it just helps to just think it through and figure out what exactly it is that is appealing to you about that, and see if there's a way that you can incorporate that without derailing your whole new system. Some things are going to stick, some things aren't going to stick, and you're just always adjusting, always driving that car, turning the wheel. As the road turns, your schedule's going to change, and there's not going to be a day when you think, oh, I've got it. You're always going to be making adjustments, but you hopefully will enjoy the ride and find yourself doing great with a structured homeschool. If you want to watch any more of my videos on homeschooling with ACE, be sure to check out my channel, and also go ahead and subscribe if you don't want to miss anything, because even though this series is done, there will be lots more videos about homeschooling and large family life and all sorts of other things. So I hope to see you around again, and have a great day.